Hi guys, once again welcome back to our channel. Please do subscribe and share the details with your friends. And please post your Pega related interview questions for which you need the answers or for which you need some sessions. Please post it in our comment section. Yeah. So today we are going to see about the Pega interview questions which are of basic level. So we have taken up 3 questions which will be explaining you in the sequence. So yeah. Sir, what is the first question?
In flow action, we have pre and post and validation. When validation executes.
Okay, so basically this is a question which comes from the case type topic. So as as you see the answer here, but let me show you technically what's the actual place so that we remember what we are looking for. So this is a flow action rule which I opened, and in the action tab you can see pre-processing, post-processing and a validation tab here. So this is what our question is pertaining to, when does the validation trigger. So basically in the action, right, you have pre-processing as you see here. Pre-processing, if you add, you can write a data transform, you can write an activity, and you can even run a robotic automation. That's for now, leave the robotic automation. So you can write a data transform and an activity in the pre-processing as well as in the post-processing. So in the pre-processing, whatever rules you write, it executes before even your section loads, and it will be shown to the user. And if you want something to happen after the click of submit button, for example updating some details to the database, or saving some data, or setting some flags, so in that case you will write those activities or data transforms in the post-processing. So basically pre-processing occurs before the screen or the section gets loaded, and post-processing occurs after you click on the submit button. But the check is the validation should have passed, meaning sometimes we would have written some validation rules here in the validation tab. So if this validation passes, only when this validation passes successfully, your post-processing action will execute. So now moving here, so pre-processing occurs before the section or the action is loaded. Post-processing occurs after validation passes, and after meaning when you click on the submit button, first it will check if your validation rule has passed. If it has passed, it will execute the post-processing, or else you will be stopped with the error message whichever comes from your validation. Now when does the validation happen? So validation occurs upon submit of the flow action and before executing any post-processing actions. Yeah, that's it. Moving to the next one.
Difference between local action and flow action.
Yes, so this is one another question related to the flows or your case management. So now local action and a flow action. So let me first give you a small example which will make it more clear. So once again I'm going back to my flow action. So in the action tab you would have seen a single flow action. A flow action can behave either as a connector as well as a local action, or it can behave as both. So what is a local action and what is a flow action? Connector action is once again a flow action for you. Now local action, let me take a typical example. You are trying to order a product in Amazon, and when you are trying to order a product, once you select the product, you will add the item to the cart and you will click on proceed to payment. So when you click on proceed to payment, automatically you will be redirected to the bank site. Then you will finish your payment. There is no means you can skip any screens in between. When you click on next or when you click on proceed to pay, you will automatically land into the payment screen. You can go back or you can do whatever you want. Those other things are all fine. But if you click on next, ideally you will land in the payment screen once your order details are confirmed, once your card details are confirmed. Upon click of next, you land to the payment screen, and once your payment is completed, you will automatically be redirected to the confirmation screen. So our only focus is you select the product, you click on next, then you'll see your cart, view cart, and once you click on finalize, or once you finalize your product orders, you click on next, you will see the product screen. There is no means you can skip this product screen, sorry, not the product, this payment screen. So that's where we take it as a flow action. If you see here, a flow action is something which helps in progressing the case or moving it forward, and it is mandatory. So I have given the same example. On click of next after filling details in orders screen, we move to the payment screen, which cannot be skipped or bypassed. Yeah, that's a flow action. Now moving to local action. Local action is something which doesn't progress the case, but a screen will be rendered to the user so that he can add some details. For example, like while ordering the same product, you decide to change your address. You just go back. Like you click on the actions, you will give like update address or update contact details. You just provide the new address details, you submit it. Like still you will land on the same screen wherever you had been previously. This updation of address doesn't move your case like to the payment screen or anything else. It's just a screen which pops up with some sections and which requires some user actions. Upon submit, it will again go back. That's it. It's just a temporary action and it's an optional one. Though it saves the data of whatever you fill in or of your address to the DB, still it's a action which doesn't have any direct impact on your case. That's it. That's what we call it as a local action. So I mentioned an example. While doing a purchase order, the customer may or may not want to update his delivery address details. Like I'm just given a small navigation, like it can be done from actions, change address, like from the list of options, and from the local flow action in the screen, like something which pops up. There you will give the details. It is mandatory and it may be done or it may not be done. It depends upon the customer. Yeah, that's it. We'll move to the next question.
Types of flows in Pega.
So like it's like the different types of flow. So if I say the types of flow, right, you will get reminded of screen flow, subflow, so many things. But let us go to the smaller version of this, or like the basic level. Then we'll move to the hierarchy or the higher level of flows. So basically a flow that contains no assignments, so that it can execute from start to end without human input. It is known as a straight through process. Now the next thing is like a flow that consists only of assignments or decisions and meets some criteria, meaning like it contains some assignments which need some user actions, and it has some decision shapes which has the decision rules and like which routes the flow accordingly and based on some criteria. This is known as a screen flow. Now the next one is like a flow which creates a work object is called as a starter flow, and the flow that is called in another flow is called as a subflow, and the calling flow or the main flow from where it is invoked is called as the parent flow. These are the basic types of flows. Yeah, so thank you guys, that's it for today. We'll meet in the next session, and please feel free to post your questions whichever you have, so that like I'll try to answer them in the forthcoming sessions. Thank you, sir.